All right, morning, everyone. Hopefully everyone can see me. It's great to see everyone. Before I take questions, I just wanted to send out my sincere thoughts and prayers and condolences to Mike Wallace, a beloved member of the Grizzlies organization, who lost his wife yesterday. Our thoughts and prayers are with him, his kids, and his family during this tough time. We all want him to know that we love him, we care for him, we're thinking about him, we're here for him. It's a very sad day in the Wallace household. It's a sad day for the Grizzlies, and we're sending all of our love in this direction today.
Thanks, Coach. We'll open up the questions now. First question, Joe Mullinax.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, you've had a few days to be back and settle in from everything that happened in the bubble. If you're able to, again, it probably takes more time to reflect. But just general takeaways from that experience. Zach talked a lot about how playing a meaningful basketball will be a benefit for the team in the long run. How much do you agree with that? And then just the actual prep to get to those 9 played games. How much will that benefit the team moving forward? And now that you've had a couple of days to reflect.
Yeah, Joe, it's definitely been great to reflect on the last couple of days. And I'm going to have a couple of months to even reflect more. But in the immediacy, just so proud of all the efforts that went in to getting the restart back up and running, and specifically to the Grizzlies organization, from all of the efforts that went into play to just creating a safe environment here in Memphis to allow our guys to continue to work. And then obviously as we ramped up there, towards the end of June, early start of July, with everyone back in the market, all the protocols and all the virtual meetings that we had from a planning standpoint to just keeping the dialogue going and finding ways to get creative to help our guys keep getting better, even virtually, before we could even step foot on the court. And then just getting back, I was so excited to be able to continue the season, to get back together with the entire group, even though it was a smaller travel party, but to get back together with our players, our coaches, our staff, and get back to work, to continue what was a great season for us. I can reflect on this season and speak so proudly about it. But, as you heard from Zach, to just know that we played in meaningful basketball games, which was, one of our major goals on the outset of the season, to, have a competitive team, and then to be able to have that opportunity at the end of the season is great to reflect back on. To get that experience, everything from the practices to the film sessions to the game experience, knowing the heightened stakes of those games, the seeding games, the playing games. This is only going to benefit our group moving forward. To get that opportunity, to earn that opportunity, to be there in Orlando. Obviously, we wish we were still there playing, but knowing that this is going to only motivate, our players, absolutely our coaches too, but everyone in this organization is going to be so motivated to know how much we put into our first season together, all the great things, but also recognize how close we were. And what we need to work on moving forward. It's definitely an uncertain kind of off season right now, but I know everyone's still motivated on finding ways, whatever it is, if it's back to virtual again or limited workouts or whatnot. I think the taste that we got and the experience in a short amount of time in Orlando is really going to benefit us for the long run. And I think these are all great takeaways that we can have leading from year 1 to year 2, which is important. This off season after the first year is critical for our long-term success. It's still just a small window in this long process that we have. But getting that growth over the course of these next couple of months, knowing how close we were, what we need to work on, is going to be great for our benefit to hopefully have another successful season next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peter Edmondson.
Yeah, Taylor, you sort of had that weird season like we all did, where you had a 4-month semi-off season and then a crazy bubble. You had some time for self-reflection in the middle of that break. Now you can reflect on the bubble. Where did you think you improved with that self-reflection? Where are areas that you think you're going to be looking at? How do you go through your own off-season process of getting better as a coach?
Yeah, Peter, I would say I'm definitely going to reflect back on, if you kind of divide these 2 seasons up, the regular season and the bubble, there was a lot of reflection, from the regular season about how to continue to put our guys in the right positions possible, from an offensive standpoint, having learned a lot about, what each individual player's strengths were, what was the chemistry of our roster, how we can continue to, improve there. And then defensively, what were our strengths? What do we need to emphasize? So coming back into the bubble and the restart, identifying what we needed to emphasize in a short amount of time, getting ready for some meaningful games, having to really kind of just focus our attention on certain, areas offensively and defensively, also personnel-wise. Unfortunate that, we had three of our, primary players, rotational players out was tough to have to adjust to. But that was good challenge. We obviously wish we had JJ, Justice, and Tyus during those games. But I can now reflect back on, how we managed the roster, in the ups and downs of the bubble. Me personally, game management is one thing that I always, kind of try to, pride myself on. And a game management, in-game management, with the different, lineups that we're having to play. That's always just a great exercise, no matter, who you have at your disposal every single given night. Working on that with our coaching staff was really big. But then always prioritizing, our habits and really identifying, in the first part of the season, that regular season, what habits did we emphasize? What do we need to emphasize a little bit more? And coming away from the bubble, we get great takeaways on, I think a lot of the things that we emphasized, we did really well. But then some things that maybe we didn't have enough time to really emphasize. Now we can reflect back on and make that even more of a priority next year. Some things defensively that obviously we coached throughout the bubble and, maybe didn't get the most out of it. So there's going to be a lot to reflect back on. I'm definitely going to take some time to enjoy my family, but I can't wait to get back to work. I think as I said on the outset, our guys are hungry, our coaches are hungry. We're right now formulating our summer program, which, we don't know what that's going to look like, but there's going to be a lot of attention, a lot of film work from individual focus with our players, but also from our team standpoint. Pretty confident in, we'll figure out what our group's going to look like next year. But I've got a great feel after this first year of, the types of players we have, the types of people we have, and then what we need to emphasize moving forward.
Mike Sadie.
Welcome home, Coach. How much did this team overachieve this year? You talk about a young team. You talk about a young first-time head coach. Not a lot was expected, and I know you still wish you were in Orlando, but how much did this team overachieve and kind of lay the groundwork for what could be a great future for this Memphis Grizzlies team?
Yeah, Mike, well, thank you for that warm welcome. It's obviously great to be back home. Wish we were playing in Orlando, but also very happy to be home. I'll let y'all answer, how much y'all think we overachieved, if you can say that. I mean, I'm just proud of how much we did achieve. Our expectations are always going to be something that we're going to challenge ourselves. We want more and more. But when we built this team at the outset, Zach and myself, our coaching staff, and even our players talked about what we wanted to accomplish this year. It wasn't, in terms of results about the playoffs, it wasn't record-based or anything like that. It was, are we going to create a culture and a style of play and a style of, work that we can be proud of, that we know that this is the foundation. If we can establish a foundation in our first year and feel confident in that foundation, that's going to set us up for this bright future that we can, constantly talk about. But for us, the themes that I always talked about, from day one about competing, playing together and getting better, I think our guys really embrace that. And that's a credit to our players. That's a credit to our staff to be able to live that every single day. For me, that's my greatest takeaway. We achieved that. That met my expectation that with, yes, a young group, but also a new group, a new coaching staff, a new front office, having everyone come together and keep our plan pretty simple, that allowed us to go out and find success on the floor and playing those meaningful games that we strive for, we were striving for in our first season. But the foundation is the thing that I'm most proud of. And I felt we met that expectation. And I think I said it, right after the game. I'm immediately going to say, well, it's not good enough. We need more, because I'm always focused on, are we putting the work in and getting to the level that we need to be, that we should be at? But then we got to not be satisfied and want more. Obviously, that does factor into the results. Yes, we wish we were in the playoffs. Yes, we wish we could have won more games. But that's what motivates us. But if we can still feel strongly about how we work every single day, our style of play, we can always find ways to get better. But are we competing at the level? I'm proud of how our guys competed. I mean, our guys laid on the line. We were in every single game. We had our chances. we didn't do enough to advance. And we're a team that's together. We've got great chemistry off the floor. So proud of how they just kind of do that on their own. How organically they just figured out the relationships and how that led to so much success and being one of the most unselfish teams in the league. And then they get better. These guys never rest on their laurels. We talk about the resolve and resiliency of this team. They're motivated by the work. They're motivated by the next challenge. And knowing that we've had a good first season, we've laid a great foundation. Now the focus is on how do we get better for next year, and it's competing during the off season. It's continuing to stay connected during the off season and getting better during the off season. And that's going to be my next expectation for next year, is only taking our standard to another level.
Philip Dean.
Hey, Coach. How are you doing?
Good, Philip. How are you?
Good. After the game on Saturday, you said that the team said to you that there's more work to be done. And how does that feel for you as a coach after a loss like that they're ready, that they're motivated and they're hungry and they're ready to get back into it?
It's awesome. Obviously, the disappointment settles in immediately after your season ends. But our guys were able to kind of pick themselves up. And it's not that they were diminishing the moment and saying, "Oh, well, we lost," and it is what it is. They immediately recognized we were that close. You could just feel it in how they communicated, how they said it, how it was unified throughout the room. That as I was echoing the same words about coming back and working, feeling proud, but knowing that we have more to do. There were so many head nods recognizing that we did accomplish a lot, but we're never going to be satisfied with the end result, that, we have to come back and work and get better. And what makes me excited about that is everyone embraces that. When you've got everyone on the team understanding, where we're at as an organization, but where we can go as an organization, that's a thrill, because I know how they're going to get there. Is they're going to do it together. They're going to work. Our coaching staff, our performance staff, our front office staff, we're not going to stop. We're going to take the necessary break that you need to after a season to reflect and kind of recharge the battery, but then immediately come back. And that's what our team has done all season long. In a weird way, you look at what the hiatus was, in retrospect, and time to kind of recharge and prioritize health and family and safety. But then our guys came back in the gym when they could and put everything they could into this opportunity. The same could be said of Orlando. Didn't get the results that we wanted, but their commitment to working every single day is what stands out the most. And I know that's going to be the same thing even in this unique offseason, and that's how it's going to translate into success next year.
Drew Hill.
Hey, Taylor, you mentioned that time to reflect. You already had it once with the hiatus. Now you have it again. Is it difficult at all to turn it off and on that way, especially when you come back and you're in a situation like the bubble and then all of a sudden it's over again?
Yeah, Drew, it's hard to put into words. The hiatus was kind of a moment to reflect. Obviously, as I said, prioritize, the safety of my family, safety of me, safety of our team, wherever they happen to be, and but also continuing to get those gears turned about what this could be. There's still so much unforeseen about what next year's even going to look like. Is it regional pods? Is it in the springtime? Is it in December still? Are we in markets? There's only so many things that we can control. So it's good to be able to, turn it off every now and then and kind of prioritize, our families and our own health and well-being. But, what motivates us is still the work. I'll be able to turn it on pretty quickly here and know that we're going to dive into a summer plan. Obviously, the hiatus was a different plan. It was the continuation of a season. Now we can even have even deeper reflection on this past season, recognize the end of the season, what we had gotten through the regular season and the bubble, and what mark we left and that taste that's in our mouth, and then really drive us to next year from all the decisions that we'll have to make over the course of the summer. What we have to do as a coaching staff to raise our level to another year, knowing that all of our guys have now had a full, quote unquote, not 82, but, I guess you're going to call it a full season together, and where we got to pull on the strengths and identify the areas we got to get a lot better in. So that's going to be the reflection now. Now you kind of have to turn the page. 1 year's in the books. Now we got to get to year 2 and focus on how we're going to continue to make those necessary steps, those improvements in all areas of what we do to continue to create that sustainable success. Good success in the first year, but how are we going to sustain that year after year after year for the long term? That's kind of where the mind shifts, and very excited to, take on that task.
Megan Triplett.
Hey, Coach. Welcome back to Memphis. I wanted to ask you if you could just shed some light on your coaching staff and what they've meant for you and how significant they were to the success of this team. And also, is there any updates on that opening that you have in your coaching staff with the replacement of Neil Ivey?
Yeah, I love my coaching staff. They mean the world to me. I've been blessed to work with amazing coaches in my career, head coaches, fellow assistant coaches, and now to be 1 year in with my coaching staff, our coaching staff. I'm so proud of everything that they've done. I mean, we talk about the commitment of our players every single day during this unique season, the work that the players put in, the work the players put in during the hiatus, in the bubble. That all happens because of the coaches. Their commitment every single day to help our players get better is at the forefront of what they do. These coaches, when we talk about building a coaching staff, diverse coaching staff with multitude of backgrounds and experiences, at the core of it is individuals that love the game and love working with others. And that's helping players get better. They absolutely made me a better coach. I grew so much this season. I'm far from a finished product, and they hold me to that standard of as much as I challenge our guys to get better every single day, they challenge me every single day to get better. Our program and our culture is built on the entirety of everyone, and our coaches have a huge hand in that. And I'm so thankful for the friendships I've developed with them. We'll work together so much. You hear that all the time, in coaching lingo. I mean, they're a family to me. How much time we spent with each other, and the conversations that we've had, ranging from basketball life to family life to personal life. That's going to only be impactful for us moving forward, because at the end of the day, what's our guiding principles is helping our players get better. And the fact that I know that they love what they do, and they focus on the betterment of everyone around them, it's amazing. And I'm so happy to work with them every single day. I'm blessed. And, obviously, we're so sad to see Neil leave. I mean, she made a tremendous impact here and is going to do wonderful things back at our alma mater at Notre Dame. And, we have definitely started the process. We have started the process in identifying candidates to fill that position. I have no idea what the timeline is going to be, but we're having great conversations with a great group of coaches, and we prioritize getting the best coaches with diverse backgrounds to help our staff be better, which is going to help our team get better. So very excited about the opportunity to add another great coach and great person to our staff. When that time comes, we'll be excited to announce that at a later date.
Got time for one final question. Evan Barnes.
Sarah, you talked about just the foundation and just the excitement kind of the work this offseason. Just with the way that Ja, Brandon, Jaren, the young core, Dylan, all those guys with so much potential to build off of this year, does that make you excited just to get back to work?
Absolutely. With Ja, Jaren, Brandon, Dylan, Justice, a young core. We talked about all season young core with a great group of vets around them. I'm blessed every single day to come to work and work with great people, players, staff. That gets me out of bed every single day because I do what I love, which is coaching basketball. And to know that we've got a bright future with great young players, it excites me so much. And to what you talked about with the foundation, to know that so much work got put in over this, 11-month-ish season, however long it is. The only reason that we can sit here today and talk about, the success of the season, how much we achieved, how proud we are, and then talk about the excitement of the future is because of the work involved. It's the ownership and everyone's embracing of the process to get to this point in just 1 year, and knowing that there's still a long road ahead, that we've got a long-term vision, that in order to get to where we ultimately want to go, competing for championships, having that sustainable success, which we talked about from day one. It's in the people and it's in their commitment to work every single day. So as one of the leaders of the organization, that's my motivation to come in, knowing that I've got a great group of people to work with every single day, and that they buy into that and they embrace that. I can't wait to be along for the ride with that and lead that charge. So we'll see when games are going to be played soon. Excited about what the next season holds, but even more excited about before we get there, putting in the work over this summer and really diving in a lot. I mean, I've spent the last 2 days building the longest to-do list probably of my young career. But I can't wait to tackle all that stuff and get everyone on board to the work that needs to be done, and be excited what the future holds.
Coach, we appreciate you joining us today.
Great. Thanks, everyone. Talk to y'all soon. Take care.